Hey gang, Yuvi here. Today I'm near Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm taking a knife making course with Howard Clark. There's going to be a separate video about that, but today I'd like to do a video about my classmate, Chad Hitsman, and he is a professional knife sharpener, and we're going to go to his shop and also his mobile van here, and he's going to share with us, well, he'll tell us about his business, and he'll share with us some sharpening tips in his shop and show us a couple things.
Hey guys,
Hey.
so this is the new van. Finally got one I can stand up in, which is much nicer, so I don't have to be all hunched over in here. Moved a lot of my equipment that I used to have in my garage shop out here so that I'm more portable. Got a wide variety of machinery. I've got some belt sanders, some grinders with buffing wheels, wire brushes. Also set up to do just about any kind of scissor or shear. I've got multiple scissor grinders so that I can do upholstery, fabric, all kinds of shears. I've also got a flat hone so I can do barber shears properly. A lot of guys just starting off will try to do barber shears, convex ground shears on a bench grinder that gives a hollow grind, which is a big mistake because it takes off way too much material and it totally changes the edge geometry on those expensive barber shears. So if you do have somebody sharpen your shears for you, make sure they're not using a grinder. They want to be using a flat honed. One of these would do great for your household scissors, fabric shears, and stuff like that. But for hair shears, you want to use much finer, flat grinding machine.
And you have some other equipment in your garage that you bring out here for certain jobs.
Yeah,
well.
if I get a customer that calls and they've got lawnmower blades, I've got a mower blade grinder specifically designed for that. I've got chainsaw chain grinders. I can do just about anything that's going to be in your home or business. Only thing I don't do is carbide grinding because I do that at work, which is more industrial tooling, saw blades, planer knives, router bits, shaper heads, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's something that separates you from other people that might just be doing knife sharpening. I mean, you do industrial sharpening of heavy cutting tools.
Yeah, and I feel that gives me a lot better edge, pardon the pun, if you will, in my field, because I sharpen a lot of things for a lot of different people. I've sharpened, everything from autopsy knives for doctors, medical instruments, dental instruments, hair cutting shears. I've sharpened for just about any type of business you can think of. And that's the thing that's great about sharpening is there are so many fields of income that you can go to. Dog groomers, hairstylists, hardware stores, tree cutters, tailors, all kinds of fabric shops, people that are doing quilting, fabrics, people that are doing scrapbooking and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different areas that you can pursue when you're sharpening.
All right, so hey, that shirt that you're wearing, that's your work, Acme Tools.
Yeah.
But let's plug your business real quick. How can people get a hold of you?
It's Edgetech Sharpening. I got a Facebook page. It's Edgetech Mobile Sharpening. If you want to get in touch with me, my phone number is 515-822-6506. Any questions you might have concerning knives or sharpening or anything like that, give me a holler. I'd be happy to help you.
And you do knife rental as well.
Yeah, that's kind of a side business. It's nothing that I am building a big business off of, because there's some real big corporate companies that do it so dirt cheap that I wouldn't even try to compete with them. But I do have some customers that want that service in addition to servicing their own professional chef's knives.
Like a small restaurant, or
yeah, you get like a small restaurant that I might
a
take
food
in
kitchen or something.
10 knives. I might take in 10 knives a month, and they'll use those. But then while I'm there dropping those off, the chefs also want me to take care of their personal knives for them. And I do the personal knives for the chefs a little bit differently than I do the rental knives. The rental knives, I'm just trying to get a down and dirty good edge on there that's going to be sharp and work for them. I take a little bit more time and care when I'm doing their personal knives, because I know that they're finely tuned to using that instrument, and if you mess it up or change it or make it worse in any way, they're going to notice. So yeah, I'm always trying to perfect that, and that's one of the things I pride myself on is that if you're not happy, I'm not happy. If you're not happy as a customer, I'm not happy, because I offer custom grinding, and I'm going to work with you. If you want more of a toothy edge, if you're making a particular cut and you like a toothy edge, then I can do that. If you want a really smooth polish edge that's going to be really smooth and clean cutting, I can do that too.
Yeah. So let's go back to your garage and let's share with everyone your tip on what exactly.
Yeah, I'll show you my setup that I'm using. It's the Surgy Sharp angle guides, and then I finish up with the Surgy Sharp leather honing belt with a green chromium oxide compound.
Awesome.
All right, so this is the basic belt sanding setup I have for doing knives. I've got these Surgy Sharp edge guides. I can set the angle on them here on the side. So I got two of them. I set the first one at just under 19 degrees, or just under 20 degrees, about 19 degrees. And then I'll set this one at just over 20 degrees. So the first one at 19 degrees is going to give me a thinner edge. It's going to thin it down until I work up a burr, and then I'll put this other guide on, which is a little bit wider, which will wipe out the rough grind and replace it with a nice smooth grind. And then I can strop it and get a nice razor's edge. And you can really go from a really dull knife to a really sharp knife really easily. So that you can really dull the shit out of a knife.
Yeah, that's
All right,
that's definitely dull now.
That knife is dull. And I can feel we got a burr. So now we'll go to our finer belt.
What was the grit again?
This one's a 120, I think.
Okay.
And you could even go coarser, depending on how dull or how dull or sharp your knife is. Then I'm going to go to a Trizact belt. And these Trizact belts are, I love these Trizact belts for real fine sharpening. So now I've replaced it with my other guide. And we're going to go back, take the rough grind out, and replace it with this one. And it won't take very long. A couple strikes on each side. And the last step is a leather strop with a green chromium oxide. And that should give us a nice sharp edge.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Yeah. Hey, I remember you were telling me earlier about this brand of stropping belt.
Yeah, they're both made by Surgy Sharp, and they're the same people that make this angle guide. They're great people. It's just like a mom and pop kind of cottage industry, and they're out of Oklahoma, and they sell these guides, and they also make excellent belts, because a lot of times I've tried other belts, and where they're spliced together, there's a big bump there. So every time it comes around, it kind of wants to grab your knife. But these are absolutely smooth splices in these belts, and I swear by them. I love them.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you. So this is my cheapo belt grinder from Grizzly, the 2x72. It's not one of the most expensive machines, but it works pretty good for me for what I needed. And one of the things I didn't like about it was the tool rest that came with it. It was pretty wonky, not really very useful. So I came up with a couple ideas. This is the number one idea, is that I made a little angle guide. It's a lot like the Surgy Sharp. That's what I copied. And it's just made out of two pieces of little aluminum angle. Pretty easy to make. You just loosen this up and you can adjust the angle to whatever you want.
Is that a witness line for
yeah, because that's where I was grinding before, and in case I wanted to get back to what I was doing before, I had to change it around to do something else. So cool. Yeah, I marked a line on there. Another way to do it would be drill some holes, and then you could put a pin in it, and that would get you right back to where you were grinding before. But for bigger projects, I came up with this idea. And this is just square tubing, that kind with like signpost or whatever, I don't know, with the holes in it. and then just tack welded some nuts over it with thumb screws instead of drilling and tapping. So then I can mount those in there. And then this part goes in here. So then I can adjust it down here, so I can do hollow grinding down here if I want to, or take this off and I can move up to here and grind on the plate and if I want to. And then this is adjustable also, so I can go up and down, or I can, you know, adjust it any angle I want, and then also go in and out with it. So I can, got a lot of adjustment there for grinding on different parts of the machine, not just, you know, the contact wheel or the plating. So, and that works real good too.
So that's it. Me and Chad, we're gonna hang out here and shoot the breeze and check out more of his cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day unless you have other plans. Peace.